Here is one of mine. Driving with family members. Uncle is driving, I am in back seat with cousin doing something, not paying attention. Driving down long dirt road that goes out to a few houses. Driving pretty fast for dirt road, we hit something. Uncle freaks out. Impact makes the car slide a little. Car stops. I thought there was a rock from a stone wall in the road. My cousin says, no, we hit a deer. Uncle gets out of car and looks at front bumper. It is dented pretty bad, but low to the ground, not on the hood like a deer. He thinks we hit a bear or a large dog. He is freaking out and tells us to stay in the car when we open the doors. It had just got dark out. It was a very dark night, I realized. Him and my dad are talking. They say the thing we hit was running extremely fast. Was big like a bear, but lean, like a large cat. Only with a head like a bald bear. They said it looked like you could see its skull. He turns the car around and shines the high beams into the marshy tall grass on either side of the road. Pulls up to where we hit it, and there are marks on the road like claw marks. As we sit looking at the road, we smell something like rotten clams, smelly dog, and high tide. We hear a low rumble and think it's a boat in the distance. It's a growl. We drive to the house we were going to and tell the people there. They are freaked out and say that some animal has been going through garbage cans and killing people's dogs that lived outside. As we shined our headlights on the sides of the road, we pointed out a mound of fur sticking out of the grass. It was dark brown and looked wet. My dad and uncle fucking freak out if me and my cousin talk about this. My cousin later said that he saw the animal before we hit it, and it didn't really look like a deer, but he was young when it happened. That's the story, Rhode Island. The car was fucked up, and I wasn't really scared because I never saw the thing. But I believe it because my uncle and dad are pretty straight up guys.
Me, 18 college freshman. Always had a tendency to pace a lot, still do. But my dorm was too small for that. This, paired with my insomnia, leads me to take long nightly walks, usually from 1 to 4 a.m. I liked going that late because no one was around, since I'm very awkward around people. Sort of just wandered the side streets, listening to music, lost in thought. Kind of creepy at times, but mostly very peaceful for me. All the streets kind of looked the same, and I would intentionally try to get myself lost. Made the walks less boring, I guess. One night, deep into a walk, I noticed that all the streetlights are off past a certain point. At first, I thought I had just reached the end of a street or something, but the sidewalk seemed to keep going. Decide to follow it. After walking for about a minute, I noticed that I can't see my own feet. I've been camping many times, and even the woods in the middle of nowhere at night aren't half this dark. It's dead silent too. No wind, no distant cars. Even my footsteps are sort of muffled. After walking for about 20 minutes, I see a light in the distance. To be honest, I'm not sure how I missed it before. Couldn't have been more than a few hundred meters away. Seems to be a large window of a house with someone standing in front of it. Can't make much out, just a silhouette standing there. As I get closer to the house, which takes much longer than it should have, the figure in the room don't become any more detailed. I'm maybe 20 feet away, and the guy still looks like a 2D cutout. Room is barren too, just a bright yellowish light behind him. No furniture. Can't even tell where the walls or ceiling is. Light from the window doesn't illuminate the outside at all either. Slowly approach when the figure moves, raising his hand and grabbing a chain hanging from the ceiling. I know that wasn't there a second ago. Yanks it down and the window goes dark. Get shit scared and turn around. Start booking it. 30 seconds of running in total darkness, and I'm already back to the streetlights. Haul ass home. That weekend, I walk around during the day for hours, looking for where that street was. Try retracing my steps, but to no avail. I must have wandered the entire immediate area, but it wasn't anywhere. Never had another experience like that, although I usually take my walks elsewhere now. No fucking idea what that was, just know it was weird at the time.
Can we get a weird shit you've experienced / found in the woods thread going? I pooped in the woods a few times. I saw a guy pooping the woods a few times. OP here. I saw a skeleton pooping spaghetti in the woods once. My dog found a dildo in the woods once. Probably belonged to these fuckers shitting in the bush. I saw a guy watching another guy poop in the woods. There is some creepy-ass fetish shit in the woods, let me tell you.
On a hike one day, roaming through the Peak District, UK, by myself. Quite late in the summer evening, was planning on setting up a small camp for the night somewhere close by. Scour the horizon for good forested spots, great for shelter from wind. Suddenly hearing something shift behind me. It's a deer. Throw a twig at it in frustration for making me jump, it runs away. Head for the woods across a grassy meadow, making sure to keep my eye out for any ditches in the grass. My mate broke his leg in a deep hole in the past. Notice something writhing in the grass up ahead. Wildlife ecologist, so I head over to make sure it isn't a distressed animal trapped in something. Suddenly, it bolts, was probably a fox. I make it to the tree line, start feeling a little off, like something is watching me. Very dark now, need to set up camp no matter what. As I'm setting up, a guy comes charging through the fucking bushes screaming something about a big dog up ahead. It had bit him in the leg, was bleeding bad. I offer to patch him up, let him stay with me for the night. He's a cool guy, we share stories, have a few beers I brought along. Midway through the night, I wake up to find him leaving the camp, says he needs to check on something he heard. Never comes back. I freak the fuck out. Head hurts due to beer and no sleep, so I put my head down for a second, get up. Something catches my eye from under a nearby log. Fucking human skull. Packed up my small tent. Fucking ran for my life.
Be me, 14 years old. Me and 3 friends go to the woods, build a treehouse. On the road, making jokes about ghosts and spirits. How would we react if we see something? Found a suitable tree. 2 friends go on the tree to work. Me and another friend are down. Suddenly, the friend who was with me tells me to turn around. Of course, JPG. His face became pale and says to me, "Please turn around." I look behind me and I see a 2-meter-tall black apparition was pointing at us. Friends who were on the tree also saw the apparition, instantly jumping from the tree. We ran like crazy. After maybe 3 kilometers, just stopped to catch our breath, and the friend who jumped from a tree had sprained his foot. First I thought to myself, I was imagining such things, but after I talked to my friends, they have seen the same thing. Then I realized that this shit was real. A month after that, I could not sleep, and even today when I pass that place, I panic and never go alone. We told our parents, but no one believes. Keep in mind, this will use both my own memories and secondhand accounts from my parents who remember this incident. Be about 6 years old, just began sleeping in my own room since we were able to move into a house that allowed for us to have our own room. Excited, because I felt like I was finally a big boy who can live on his own first night, feel hot, like very hot. Live in Texas, so heat was not a rare issue, but this felt unbearable, almost to the point of not being able to breathe. Just go to the living room to sleep and forget about it. Next night the heat returns, but this time feels less warm and more mean. My 6-year-old mind didn't know what malice was, so that was the best way I could describe it. Made me want to leave my room, but I couldn't. Something made me so scared that it got me frozen. Tried yelling for my dad, but almost like those dreams where you yell and nothing comes out. Same thing here, but I knew I wasn't dreaming. Now here is where my memory gets fuzzy, so I am going to go off what my parents remember. Next day, I go to my dad and tell him about the past 2 nights. He chalks it up to me being scared all alone in the dark. He decides that day to put a nightlight in my room, and hopefully that helps. Comes into my room that night like he usually does, and this time he reads me a bedtime story, all in hopes to calm me down. He leaves, and seemingly that's the end of it. Fast forward to about 2 a.m. or so. The absolute worst blood-cuddling scream he has ever heard, it comes from my room. So loud it actually wakes up the neighbors. My dad is not a fast man, but that day you swear he had super speed the way he was able to get to my room so fast. Our rooms were on opposite sides of the house. Dad basically breaks the door off its hinges and sees me on the floor crying and cowering for my life. In a corner of the room, my dad goes on to explain how as soon as he went in, he felt this pure aura of just anger and malice. Dad picks me up and bolts out of that room. Sleep with them for the next 2 nights. My dad doesn't talk about the room for those days, not wanting to scare me. Tells me that after that he talked to my mom about it. My mom, being religious and an avid believer in the paranormal, tells my dad it has to be some sort of spirit haunting the room. My dad, still skeptical, decides to say fuck it and sleep in the room himself, just to make sure he didn't just imagine it, since he was still groggy and half awake when he came into my room that night. Later that night, he tucks me in with my mother and goes to sleep in my room. Next day, we find him sleeping in the living room. Mom asks Dad what happened. He begins to go on this huge tirade about how the room made him feel nauseous and almost depressed. Said that the heat itself was bad, but that around 2 a.m. he felt almost suicidal, to the point of thinking to just turn on the car's gas and let it be. My father is not a depressive, nor has he ever had a history of such. Tells my mom that something is definitely fucked up about that room. My sister, she was about 17, hears my dad say this, and as most teenagers do, tend to not believe him, so she says she'll sleep in the room, to much of my mother's dismay. Later that night, my sister goes into my room about 2 a.m., same as last night, and same as 2 nights before. She bolts out of my room, and I don't mean run. I mean, she almost leaped out of the room with how fast she tried to leave. My mother tells me that she even caught my sister trying to leave the house entirely in a mess of sweat and tears. Later that night, after my sister calms down, my parents ask her what exactly happened. She goes on to explain that she had been touched by something, and not just the normal grazing feel or strange sensation, she means grabbed and groped. She explains that while the room itself became scorching hot, the touches felt like they were setting her on fire, burning her. She said that the pain may have been one thing, but the sheer feeling of anguish and despair she felt while it happened was on an entirely different level. She explained it as the feeling you get when someone you love dies and you have to see their body in a casket. Of course, to my mother and father, they knew what that felt like, losing a parent and grandparent respectively. My mom finally tells us she wants to sleep in that room. Dad tells her to not and just call a priest or something. Mom says she wants to confirm it herself. Part of me thinks she just wanted to have a piece of the paranormal pie. That night we all go to bed and my mom goes into my room. Same verse as the first, second, and third 2 a.m. and shit hits the fan. This time we hear crashing and screaming. Dad once again runs into the room, tells me to stay in their bed until he comes back. Can hear sister running to my room as well. Can hear talking, but not real words can be made out. Later that day, my mom explains what happened. Just want to say, thank you, Anon, for having this pre-typed. Mom tells my dad she felt the exact same malice and anger that he and my sister did. Only this time she could feel a direction, she could tell where it was. She continued to explain that she just knew where it was sitting or standing or whatever. At first she left it be, since it wasn't really trying to harm her. But then she told my dad something, and later to me, which to this day has never left our minds. She begins to tell my dad that not only was it there, but it spoke to her. Not the same quiet whisper my sister got, but full audible speech. She says the spirit began talking about my father first, saying things like, "He only chose you because you were the easiest. He only chose you because he needed a rebound. Only reason he stayed was the kid. For context, I'm my father's only child. My sisters were from a different marriage, etc., etc." She then began saying the spirit talked about me, how he'll end up being buried by you. He'll never amount to anything because you'll never let him, etc. And this went on for maybe 30 minutes until she just lost it. My sister felt fear. My dad felt depression. I felt malice. My mother felt pure, unfiltered anger. My mom isn't someone known for her temper, but when she is mad, she's terrifying. This was one of those moments Mom finally told my dad to call a priest to bless the house and exorcise any bad juju. Call a family friend who was also the priest at our local church. Priest comes in and immediately asks, "Can you show me your son's room?" My mother and my father never told him about the room. When asked why he wanted to start there first, the priest just said, "I think that's where I'm needed the most." My mom allows him in and leads him into my room. Priest stops, almost frozen, tells my parents that there is something evil, something cruel in here. And as he said that, he turns to the corner of the room, same place my mother told my dad she felt it. Priest points and says, "There, that is where it lives. It's no spirit, it's a demon. I don't know what brought it here, nor why it resides in this exact area, but something about this land attracts it." Priest, as he says this, begins to set crosses and candles around the room. Grabbing his holy water, begins to pray and spread the holy water. As he's doing that, the whole room goes hot, hotter than anyone has ever felt it, to the point where we were all drenched in sweat. As this happened, Priest is praying and spraying. At this point, it looked like a movie almost. The whole time it felt like something was struggling, clinging to the room, and then after 30 minutes, it stopped. No more heaviness. Temperature went the same as the rest of the house. Everything felt normal. Priest then says that it decided to go. It knew that it couldn't stay. Fast forward about 2 years, and my father and priest friend decided to discuss what exactly happened. Priest begins to explain that for some reason the demon felt an abnormal amount of attraction to that one area, that one bit of the house that was full of malice and anger. Says he researched the house, and from what he knows, no one was ever killed there, or Indian burial ground or any of that crap. Just something there fed its evil nature. Tells my dad that it's not unheard of for a demon to just choose a random house, and especially a random room. But when it does happen, it happens for a reason. To this day, neither the priest nor my parents know why. Now I'm 23, and to this day, I still think about that room. I still sleep in it sometimes when I visit my folks, but nothing ever feels off. If you see it, it's just a normal, everyday middle-class room. I have had some paranormal experiences here and there since then, some bigger and more unexplainable than others. But nothing ever tops this one. Nothing ever gets close to this one. It has always stuck in my mind. It is possibly why I still believe in the paranormal at all. Just the amount of evidence I witnessed firsthand those 2 weeks or so was enough to tell me this isn't all superstition and voodoo. I still wonder sometimes what it was that attracted that thing to my room. Not my parents, not my sisters. Nowhere in the house but my room. Maybe demons are just more attracted by toddlers since they are more innocent and easier to corrupt. I'm not theologian, so I can't say for sure. All I know is that in some sick way, I hope I can encounter something like that again. Thanks for reading. I'll probably be back with other stories I've encountered, but I wanted to write this one down because it's always stuck to me.
Go to India in my late teens for a soul-searching exercise. Go on these kind of excursions with a bunch of others. End up in some shitty village. See crowd of people gathered around someone. Lots of these charlatans about. Clearly been brought here to fleece us out of rupees. Talk to guide, so what's his trick, what does he do? He elephant memory, never forget anything. Start getting goaded into asking him something. All attention is now on me and I don't like it. Panic. What did you have for breakfast on this day 25 years ago? Eggs. Everyone applauds like he's just started flying around on a magic carpet. I'm much less impressed. Literally impossible for him to prove his claim and for me to disprove it. Demand to ask him something else. No. Only one question. Get ushered away. Total fucking scam. Come back home. Get GF couple of years later. She mentions wanting to visit India one day. Tell her how it's all one big con. Tell her about my experience. Come up with simple solution to dab on this hoaxer. Tell her my plan. She agrees it'll work. We go back to India about 6 or 7 years after I'd been myself. Hope guy hasn't died because he was old when I was there in my late teens. Take excursion to village. Guide doesn't remember me at all. See crowd of people gathered around old man. Contain excitement. Talk to guide, so what's his trick, what does he do? He elephant memory, never forget anything. Tells me to ask him a question. Now I encourage people to gather around. The hunter has literally became the hunted. Don't even need to think about what I'm going to ask. He makes eye contact with me and I ask him a simple question, how? Doesn't even blink or take a breath scrambled. Do a 360 and walk away in silence.
I think I found a fake town last year, like Truman Show fake. Be me. Last summer. Cross-county road trip, hitting up some national parks for /out/ in central/southern Utah. It's getting late, like 10 p.m., been driving since 6-ish. It's dark as fuck, no moon, can only see what's lit up by my headlights. Decide to find some place to rest for the night at next exit. See a town off in the distance, turn off on only pull off I've seen for over an hour heading towards town. Pull off is unmarked and unlit, not on car GPS, no cell service. Town is directly ahead though, keep going. Road turns to dirt road and is about 5 miles until it turns to pavement again right at the town where businesses and houses started showing up. Immediately town strikes me as weird. Nobody is on the streets, no cars on the streets or in the businesses' parking lots. Jazz music is being pumped through the streets for some reason, not loudly but loud enough to hear. This town that looked to be about 7 blocks wide from some miles out has every major fast food chain I've heard of and 7 hotels on the main street. Still no cell service, still not on car GPS. Go to get food. KFC was fully illuminated and unlocked, nobody there. Same thing with Jack in the Box. McDonald's has a cashier and cook when I go there, both look annoyed. Take my order, give me distinctly non-McDonald's nuggets and fries. Leave. Start going to get a bed for the night. Hampton Inn, empty parking lot, third annoyed looking person informs me they're all booked up. La Quinta, person I'm now convinced was the cook at McDonald's is behind the check-in counter, also empty parking lot, also fully booked. Holiday Inn Express, empty parking lot, person that was clearly the fucking cashier at McDonald's is behind the check-in counter, surprisingly they have rooms. Ask him if he's the guy from McDonald's, no, that's my brother. Fuck it, good enough for me. Get to room, Wi-Fi exists but nothing loads, shower, crash. Wake up next day, no breakfast in lobby, no other guests. McDonald's guy still there for checkout. Ask him how to get out of town. Same road you came in on. Head to McDonald's to get something to eat. Town is still playing smooth jazz. Still nobody on the street. Order at drive-thru. Drive-thru lady is definitely lady from the Hampton Inn. Ordered a fucking griddle and black coffee, she hands me a microwave English muffin sandwich and what I assume to be some kind of instant coffee. Place is too fucking weird to stay and argue. Heading down the only fucking road in and out of town. Maybe 3 miles onto the 5-mile dirt road, notice big metal wire fence on both sides of the road in the desert, meet on the road in a big motorized gate that is open. Soon as I pass through, gate starts closing. Get back onto road, finally get onto 62. That's not right, could have sworn I was on 89 when I decided to pull off and there's mountains in between. Finally get cell service, nothing matches description of town, none of the charges ever show up on my card. I've told some people and one suggested it was Richfield, but I know I was south of there and they would have actually charged me for stuff.
Reposted from an old / with thread. I used to know what you might call that kid in middle school. He always smelled like he shit himself and wore the same clothes for fucking weeks on end. That is, his wardrobe consisted exclusively of real run-of-the-mill, generic pajamas. The kind where it's a completely solid color, the shirt buttons up and has a pocket for some reason and there's a matching pair of pants. He wore that to school and he wouldn't take the fuckers off until they were fucking made of stains and smelled so bad that he actually noticed. He was your typical chubby, long-haired greasy neckbeard, except it was the 7th grade and he couldn't grow facial hair. Actually, that's not entirely true, he grew a really fucking weird, thin mustache that was composed of only the barest number of hairs. But his upper lip always looked wet, so you couldn't help but notice that it was there. Anyways, he liked to bill himself as a video game programmer. The truth was he could only program terrible-ass text adventures in Visual Basic, and it was a damn miracle if they last more than 3 minutes and weren't easy as shit. He brought these fucking retarded games into school every other week, burned to blank CD-ROMs, and he'd ask everyone to play them in the computer lab. They were always really retarded. You're completely predictable, you wake up in a dark cell or an alien spaceship or in a forest kind of deal. Except for one he brought in that was different. That's not to say it was actually good, or even really an actual fucking game to be frank, just that it stood out among his other releases. This one, he called Happy Mommy. And I'm the sorry sack of shit he insisted should play it. It started out in the usual command prompt window his games always had, with the pointless ass beginning text asking me to type go to begin the game. Except this time when I typed go it didn't start out in typical text adventure style telling me I woke up somewhere and there's a useful item in the room and 4 directions. This time, it started out saying happy mommy one day gone just like that, in all lowercase, as was standard fare in this fucking weirdo's dumb ass games. I wasn't really sure what the fuck to do at this point so I asked him and he told me to type in mommy. So that's what I did and it returned. Happy mommy 2 day gone. Again, just like that, the S missing after day and everything. I didn't really know what else to do so I typed in mommy again. This time I got happy mommy 3 day gone. Now, I tried to type mommy again, but it didn't work this time, so I asked him what the hell I'm supposed to do now and he said to type feel good. So I did and I got happy mommy 4 day gone. Happy mommy feel good. Happy mommy feel good. And then it just closed itself. I went on with the rest of my day, completely fucking confused at what the shit he made me play. He came to school the next day, and that is the last time I ever saw him. Really spooky ending, I guess. The whole class was obviously wondering what happened to him, and all the teachers made it seem real mysterious and creepy because they were real insistent that we don't talk fucking about it. No one found out what the hell happened for the rest of our entire school, from 8th grade to high school graduation, outside of the obviously bullshit rumors. Years later, long after I was a grown adult, I came back into contact with one of my middle school teachers and we chatted up a bit about the good old days and all the retarded assholes that went to my middle school. I guess because I was an adult he felt more comfortable around me, even if he was still way older than me, so I asked him what the hell ever happened to that kid. Now, this next part, I swear to God, is not made up. Apparently, over the week before he disappeared, this kid's mom had fucking hanged herself, and since he was an only child and she was raising him on her own, and no one in their neighborhood really knew them. No one fucking knew about it and the kid just kept going to school and coming home to her corpse for 5 days before someone took notice of this and looked into it. And, according to this particular teacher, this kid, I shit you the fuck not, had been fucking his mom's corpse almost the entire time. I was never actually told what happened to him after Child Protective Services took him away, and I'm not sure anyone knows. In the spring 1989, the Carvina Corporation released a curious game, whose dissemination among American students that fall was swift and furious, though its popularity was ultimately short-lived. The game was Killswitch. On the surface it was a variant on the mystery or horror survival game, a precursor to the Myst and Silent Hill franchises. The narrative showed the complexity for which Carvina was known, though the graphics were monochrome, vague gray and white shapes against a black background. Slow MIDI versions of Czech folk songs play throughout. Players could choose between two avatars, an invisible demon named Ghast or a visible human woman, Porto. Play as Ghast was considerably more difficult due to his total invisibility, and players were highly liable to restart the game as Porto after the first level, in which it was impossible to gauge jumps or aim. However, Ghast was clearly the more powerful character. He had fire breath and a coal steam attack, but as it was above the skill level of most players to keep track of where a fire-breathing, poison-dispensing invisible imp was on their screens once the fire and steam had run out. Porto became more or less the default. Porto's singular ability was seemingly random growth. She expanded and contracted in size throughout the game. A Kansas engineering grad claimed to have figured out the pattern involved, but for reasons which will become obvious, his work was lost. Porto awakens in the dark with wounds in her elbows, confused. Seeking a way out, she ascends through the levels of a coal mine in which it is slowly revealed she was once an employee, investigating its collapse and beset on all sides by demons similar to Ghast, as well as dead foremen, coal golems, and demonic inspectors from the Soviet Corporation, whose boxy bodies were clothed in red, the only color in the game. The environment, though primitive, becomes genuinely uncanny as play progresses. There are no bosses in any real sense. Porto must simply move physically through tunnels to reach subsequent levels, while her size varies wildly through interlevel spaces. The story that emerges through Porto's discovery of magnetic tapes, files, mutilated factory workers who were once her friends, and deciphering an impressively complex code inscribed on a series of iron axes players must collect. This portion of the game was almost laughably complex, and defeated many players until Porto 881 posted the cipher to a Columbia BBS. Attempts to contact this player have been unsuccessful, and the username is no longer in use on any known service. Is that the foreman, under pressure to increase coal production, began to falsify reports of malfunctions and worker malfeasance in order to excuse low output, which incited a Soviet inspection. Officials were dispatched, one for each miner, and an extraordinary story of torture unfolds, with fuzzy and indistinct graphics of red-coated men standing over workers, inserting small knives into their joints whenever production slowed. Admittedly, this is not a very subtle critique of Soviet-era industrial tactics, and as the town of Carvina itself was devastated by the departure of the coal industry, more than one thesis has interpreted Killswitch as a political screed. After solving the axe code, Porto finds and assembles a tape recorder, on which a male voice tells her that the fires of the earth had risen up in their defense and flowed into the hearts of the decrepit, pre-revolution equipment they used and wakened them to avenge the workers. It is generally assumed that the fires of the earth are demons like Ghast, coal fumes and gassy bodies inhabiting the old machines. The machines themselves are so big that the graphics elect to only show 2 or 3 gear teeth or a conveyor belt rather than the entire apparatus. The machines drove the inspectors mad, and they disappeared into caverns with their knives, only to emerge to plague Porto, of course. The workers were often crushed and mangled in the onslaught of machines, who were neither graceful nor discriminating. Porto herself was knocked into a deep chasm by a grief-stricken engine, and her fluctuating size, if it is real and not imagined, is implied to be the result of poisonous fumes inhaled there. What follows is the most cryptic and intuitive part of the game. There is no logical reason to proceed in the correct way, and again it was Porto 881 who came to the rescue of the fledgling Killswitch community. In the chamber behind the tape recorder is a great furnace where coal was once rendered into coke. There are no clues as to what she is intended to do in this room. Players attempted nearly everything, from immolating herself to continuing to process coal as if the machines had never risen up. Porto 881 hit upon the solution, and posted it to the Columbia boards. If Porto ingests the raw coke, she will find her body under control, and can go on to fight her way out of the final levels of the mine, which are impassable in her giant state, clutching the tape containing this extraordinary story. However, as she crawls through the final tunnel to emerge above ground, the screen goes suddenly white. Killswitch, by design, deletes itself upon player completion of the game. It is not recoverable by any means, all trace of it is removed from the user's computer. The game cannot be copied. For all intents and purposes it exists only for those playing it, and then ceases to be entirely. One cannot replay and, unlocking further secrets or narrative pathways, one cannot allow another to play 8, and perhaps most importantly, it is impossible to experience the game all the way to the end as both Porto and guest. Predictably, player outcry was enormous. Several routes to solve the problem were pursued, with no real efficacy. The first and most common was to simply buy more copies of the game, but Carvina Corp. released only 5,000 copies and refused to press further editions. The following is an excerpt from their May 1990 press release. Killswitch was designed to be a unique playing experience like realty. It is unrepeatable, unretrievable, and illogical. One might even say ineffable. Death is final, death is complete. The fates of Porto and her beloved guest are as unknowable as our own. It is the desire of the Carvina Corporation that this be so, and we ask our customers to respect that desire. Rest assured Carvina will continue to provide the highest quality of games to the West, and that Killswitch is merely one among our many wonders. This did not have the intended effect. The word beloved piqued the interest of committed, even obsessive players, as Gast is not present in any portion of Porto's narrative. A rush to find the remaining copies of the game ensued, with the intent of playing as Gast and discovering the meaning of Carvina's cryptic word. The most popular theory was that Gast would at some point become the fumes inhaled by Porto, changing her size and beginning her adventure. Some thought this was wishful thinking, that if only Gast's early levels were passable one would somehow be able to play as both simultaneously. However, by this time no further copies appeared to be available in retail outlets. Players who had not yet completed the game attempted Gast's levels frequently, but the difficulty of actually playing this enigmatic avatar persisted, and no player has ever claimed to have finished the game as Gast. One by one, the lure of Porto's lost, unearthly world drew them back to her, and one by one, they were compelled towards the finality of the vast white screen. To find any copy usable today is an almost unfathomably rare occurrence. A still shrink-wrapped copy was sold at auction in 2005 for $733,000 to Yamamoto Raiwichi of Tokyo. It is entirely possible that Yamamoto's is the last remaining copy of the game. Knowing this, Yakamoto had intended to open his play to all enthusiasts, filming and uploading his progress. However, to date, the only film which has surfaced is a 1 minute and 45-second clip of a haggard Yamamoto at his computer, the avatar, choice screen visible over his right shoulder. Yamamoto is crying.
This is a true story, happened last year, still recovering from it. Be me. Have a hot GF, like a solid 8 out of 10. Could bring that number up higher though. Hear about werewolf sightings in some place in England called Staffordshire. Always wanted to fuck a hot werewolf girl. Idea.jpg. Tell of that England would be a very nice vacation break from work and that she should come with me. She's pretty hesitant, doesn't really want to go anywhere. After many days of attempts and begging, finally convince my GF to come on vacation with me to England. Fast forward a few months. In nice hotel near Staffordshire. Brought and stored some hiking gear for me and GF in my luggage. Wait specifically for a full moon day, then tell of that we should go hiking. GF not so much an outdoor person but ultimately convince her. We go hiking together in a well-known hiking trail, but we go off-route quite a bit. It's getting dark, GF getting spooked. Hear some howling, start heading towards that direction. GF absolutely hysterical, yelling at me to bring us back. Now for the next part of my plan. Reach into my backpack and pull out a cricket bat. Absolutely sock the ever-living shit out of the back of my GF's head. Knocked out cold. Perfect. Carry her body all the way to where I heard the werewolves. Find the werewolves, they were definitely werewolves, thought they would be bipedal though whatever. Approach them and hold out my GF's arm so that they may bite it. The furry fucks chomp down on her hand and try to gobble it up. Oh fuck.jpg. Engage in a tug of war against the werewolves as I try to pull my GF away from them. Finally pull her out, but not without almost breaking my ass as I fell back. Get up and start hauling ass, carrying my GF back to the hiking trail all while being chased. Finally make it back as the werewolves stopped chasing me, probably since I am the best at track race. GF's hand is beyond fucked, but it'll be worth it in the end. Bring her to the nearest hospital so they can patch up her hand, she's still out cold. She wakes up later and I bring her back to the hotel. Doesn't remember what happened, I tell her some escaped lunatic attacked us and bit her hand. GF understandably wants to go home. Fast forward a little more than 3 weeks. Bring GF over to my house on a full moon day. We watch some TV, start to cuddle, things escalate quickly. Starts getting late, we head to my bedroom and have sex. GF starts screaming uncontrollably out of nowhere in the middle of it. Hell yeah. GIF. Get out of the bed to witness her transformation. It looks really painful, but it will be so worth it. Her body is elongating and shifting and shit, growing fur everywhere. MFW when she doesn't transform into a hot werewolf with tits, it's just a meth head looking wolf. Whatever, maybe I can still work with this. Present my boner to her face when she finally finishes after like 5 minutes of transforming. She fucking bites my dick off. Proceeds to eviscerate my chest and face. Screaming and choking on my own blood as she practically eats half of my face off. There is blood splattered all over the carpet and walls. She scurries off out of my room and I hear her devour my pet dog, then jump out a window. MFW, I didn't even last a minute. I later break up with her for unrelated reasons. Don't try to fuck a werewolf, second worst mistake of my life.
Be me. Admitted autist that does sus shit like take night walks with no reflective gear and talk to myself. Live in suburb of College Town. Big park near my house. Always pass by it walking around the block. On aforementioned night walk. Approaching park. Early weeknight, summer, nobody around, dead quiet. Rustling of leaves in the wind, some AC units, no dogs, chirping of some night birds. Huh. Birds sound odd, like, out of tune? I don't recognize these songs. It's not coming from the trees, like bird songs do, it's coming from a very specific location. That bench. Near the entrance of the park, I know that bench. 2 hunky, bro looking dudes, pick related but with snapbacks, looking like they're laughing and having a conversation. Laughing kind of like middle-aged men though, not like college guys, if you know what I mean. One of them doesn't do a double take but just peers all the way to my direction, slowly. Like the white of his eyes totally visible, looking to the side at me without turning his head. What.jpg? All of these details are making me wonder if I'm sleep deprived. Laughing sounds like college guys now. One of them says hey. Long pause. Sup bro. Not about to get harassed or anything, so haven't said a word. Silently wave to them, keep walking though. Bro. Fuck ha ha ha. LOL. It's like a fuckboy soundboard. Decide this is worth getting my ass beat. Say hello. Sup bro. Smile. Night walk. Fuck ha ha ha. Yup. Nope. Yup. It sounded exactly the same. They continue laughing like it's their idle animation. One of them looks directly at me. Puckers his lips like a fish face but, sideways. If you can picture it. What the fuck? Make this uncanny whistling noise, like halfway between a human whistle and a fucking fire alarm. I am visibly alarmed. More laughter, now it sounds like middle-aged men again, more hearty ya know. Back away. Suddenly terrified, in a completely different way than before. Who the fuck are these guys? Or what? Don't want to run, don't want to find out what they'd do if I ran. Put hands in pockets, pick up the pace. They're just laughing. Laughing replaced by that, bird chirping. Clenching my teeth, palms sweating like pigs in heat the whole time. Get home. Was going to get high. Just vape like crazy watching YouTube videos, desperately trying to settle down. Some hours pass, it's around 1 o'clock in the morning. Hear muffled, loud beeps, not like car beeps, like, computer beeps, but as loud and echoing like car horns in the distance. Hear loud whoosh that sounds like a dive bomber, sped up and high-pitched. Also echoes. Sonic boom. Look out window. Clear sky, starry, Ursa Major visible.
I used to have this blank theater mask that I put on while standing in front of people's houses in the middle of the night. Never saying or doing anything except trying to get eye contact with the people who were up at that time. Sometimes I got a scared face or startled scream, but mostly I went unnoticed. Carefulness was important, so I only went out at random dates in different neighborhoods. Thing is, this one time a guy actually came out to meet me. I was going to run away, but when he opened the door he just stood there looking me in the eyes. It became a game of chicken, but I didn't budge. He seemed delighted that I stayed, and took a step to the side signaling to me that I could come in if I wished. However, I had noticed that he wasn't wearing any form of nightly attires, he was fully clothed, shoes included. The thought hit me that maybe he didn't live there. So I ran, and once I came home I got rid of my mask. I still can't forget what he shouted to me as I ran. "Why are you leaving? Aren't we the same?"
Okay, here's a story. B-15. Just got my first personal .22 rifle, all mine, super proud. Little bolt thing, super accurate, loved it. Have a family friend who owns property like 10-minute drive from our house. On this property is an old house. Built by homesteaders around 100 years ago, falling apart. Right next to it is a creek and a field. We used to camp on the far side of the field all the time, also would shoot using creek as a berm. One day I decide I want to go camping. Bike out there with my .22, a box of ammo and normal camping kit. Super excited, shoot like 200 rounds at cans and shit from the trash hole nearby. In the 60s someone lived on the property in a trailer and threw trash in the sinkhole type thing. Started getting dark, built a fire and busted out the harmonica to practice. I was terrible at it, but it kept my mind busy whilst relaxed. Suddenly something isn't right, I feel like I'm being watched. Hair on neck is raised, heart elevated. My mind starts racing, imagining things unseen out there. Clutching rifle and flashlight, scanning the field and trees for movement, shadows playing tricks on my mind, and I'm shitting bricks. Moonless night, god damn it, I want to go home now. Wish I'd brought a tent at least to hide inside. It was summer in Texas and was too hot, but I wanted that security now. Started building fire bigger. Made a torch of sorts with a stick and a torn up t-shirt I'd brought along, with thoughts of making some sort of camouflage for my rifle. Darkness is giving up no secrets, but I can definitely hear something out there walking around. Didn't want to shoot because sometimes cows wander onto the property. Fuck. Ineverwantethes.jpg. Maybe coyotes, they're common out here. But no, not in this particular area, too many farmers and rednecks hunt them, they avoid it. Jesus Christ, I think I hear breathing. It's kind of circling me, getting closer. Pissing pants by this point, wishing I had something big bore. This was before cell phones were inexpensive, I didn't have one. Just told my parents I was going camping and where. Great, so they'll just find my grisly remnants tomorrow morning after I don't come home. Sweating buckets and running out of wood, fire dying. Contemplating running for it, but the woodsman in me wouldn't leave the fire, it was too dry out there. Suddenly I hear a deep echoing bark from kind of far off. The thing circling me stops for a second. A long pause and then another bark, closer, and the thing takes off in the direction away from me and the bark. An enormous white fluffy dog comes trotting out of the tree line. Super friendly, has a collar on that says Snowman. Snowman and I chill out for a few hours, only once he turns his head, perks his ears and growls, half barks, and then goes back to normal. Feel totally safe with Snowman there. Eventually fall asleep with the big lug next to me, hot as hell but ha gives a fuck. Next morning Snowman is gone, figure he went home after the thing buggered off for good. Go home and scrape the brick dust out of my boxers. Next day. Talking to property owner. Tell him of that night, confirm no cows were out there. Mention Snowman. He looks at me like I'm an asshole. Snowman was my dog, he was killed by a car last year. I went hard and tell him I was serious, Snowman was real, I petted him and got covered in his white hair and everything, and he saved my skin from whatever out there wanted my nutsack for a coin purse. He doesn't believe me until I dig the shirt out of the wash and show him the hair all over it, he says it looks just like Snowman's. Every now and then I hear a bark off in the distance whilst camping there and feel warm inside.
Spooky thing happened to me a while ago, not pre-typed or anything, but I share. If people are interested, my whole family is pro-fun. My parents, not big gun owners, but supportive of the whole idea and like shooting and such. Go to gun range one day during a long weekend. They do free rentals, try out an AK-47, immediately fall in love. Dad buys me one for my 18th birthday. Fucking sweet only gun I've owned up to now was my lil 22 bolt action. My grandpa got me when I was little. Suddenly a lot more confident in my abilities to get shit done because I can shoot at things. Now, live on Sanibel Island. It's right off the west coast of southern Florida. Super nice place, only problem is that there are no high schools on the island. Nearest one in Fort Myers, 45 minutes away, school bus ride is over an hour long. Bus arrives just after 5 a.m. every day, way too fucking early. Wake up one morning, house is colder than usual. Go about normal morning routine. Put on headphones, walk about 10 minutes to my bus stop. Bus stop is right underneath power lines. Hear them buzzing really loudly. Remember a couple years prior when then exploded and flew all over the place. Melted power lines landed in the same spot I was standing in. Decided it would be better to move farther away. On the opposite side of the road is foliage and an opening to the beach. Can see shoreline from where I'm standing. Buzzing getting louder. Just then it occurs to me that my iPod stopped playing a long time ago. Only sound I can hear is that buzzing. I'm a very paranoid person. Just kind of freeze up listening to the silence. Nothing for a good few minutes. Suddenly hear car door slam behind me, guy getting out of his car in the parking lot of nearby closed convenience store. Start chuckling to myself. Feel silly for being so scared of nothing. Guy walks around his car and up to the front door of the store. Looks inside, tries opening door. Doesn't open, obviously locked. Tries harder. Still nothing. I'm a bit freaked out again, wondering if I'm witnessing a break-in. Think to myself it's weird. A potential burglar is wearing cargo shorts and flip-flops. He gives up, turns around, and sees me. Kinda looks like he smiles, not creepily or anything, more in a friendly neighbor you haven't seen in a while kind of way. Wave still freaked out, wave back timidly. Guy gets back in his car, starts driving towards bus stop. Oh fuck, don't look at him. Stops car right in front of me. Hey Anon, how's it going? Who the fuck is this guy and how does he know my name? It's going all right. What are you doing out here at this time? I'm waiting for my school bus. You're still in high school? I thought you graduated. Nope, almost there though. Start calming down, probably a friend of my parents or something, and I don't remember, you're all by yourself out here? At the moment, I suppose so. Be careful, there have been reports of bobcats and stuff out here. Oh yeah, I heard about that, thanks though. By the way, what's up with you trying to get into the store? Looks a bit distant for a moment, like he didn't understand what I said. I think I left something in there earlier. It's 5:20 in the morning, and he's going back for something. Complete bullshit. Think it's better not to question it. See the lights of my bus coming up. Oh hey, that's my bus. Expecting him to leave, kind of just looks at me, as if waiting for something. Okay, I'll see you later. Still just looking. Get on bus. We get going. His car sits there for a moment before driving off. School day passes without incident. Take bus home, do normal stuff. Day passes, go to bed. Wake up the next morning, usual routine. Randomly remember bobcats and such. Decide to not listen to music on the walk to my bus stop in case anything tries to sneak up on me. Standing at stop, of course, hear more damn buzzing. Move to different spot again so paranoia will relax. Can see the coastline far more clearly. Again, just watching the waves smash on the shoreline. See something move very dark out. Hard to make out shapes. Silhouette of something. Is going up and down the beach. Walking back and forth along the coastline. It's probably just a person with a metal detector or something coming out before the crowd. Shape is getting bigger. No, it's just getting closer as it's walking back and forth. Yeah, they just must be beachcombing. No big deal, cough. Shadow stops in tracks, looks like it's completely facing me now. Suddenly a very big deal. Standing there staring at Shadow. Shadow is just looking at me, completely frozen. A minute passes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Where the fuck is my bus? Oh hey, Anon. When Shadow starts walking towards me, gets closer. Can see it clearly in street light now. It's the fucking guy. Oh, he's a lot bigger than I thought. I back up a bit. He notices, stops walking. Oh, sorry, did I scare you a bit? He's standing in the middle of the street. I don't respond. Hello, you all right there? He's acting like I'm the fucking weird one. Headlights coming around the corner. Doesn't even look at the oncoming car. Gets stone cold, pissed off look on his face. Walks backwards onto beach car, passes bookend home. Running as fast as I can. Drop backpack because it's too heavy to sprint with get home lock all doors behind me. Wake up parents. Tell them everything. They agree to call cops in the morning. If I'm still scared. Go to bedroom, lock door, curl up with a cake. Can't sleep, morning comes. Decide to not deal with police. I've dealt with my fair share of overly friendly people around here. Parents give me the day off from school. Maybe this isn't so bad after all. Around 11 a.m. rolls around. Leash up dogs to go for a walk. Still haven't slept since I ran home that morning. Right as we walk out the garage door, I see something, big black thing, leaning up against my mailbox. Walk to the end of the driveway. It's my backpack. Oh fuck. Grab it and head back inside. Tell Dad about it. He says fuck it and calls the cops. Police shows up at our house about 20 minutes later. Answer questions, give description. The guy hasn't actually done anything illegal, so they can't do much. Agree to keep an eye out for him. Somewhat helps put me at ease, not leaving the house for shit. Though Dad decides it's time to bust out a couple of the guns he's had hidden in the back of his closet in case some serious shit happened. ARS and Mossberg's out the ass. Never knew he had these. See, you'll be fine now, relax. Cool, Dad. Head back to room and completely crash. Fall asleep around 2 in the afternoon after a Netflix marathon. Wake up at 11:30 p.m. Oh fuck, my stomach hurts, haven't eaten all day. Get up in a haze, check my phone. Several missed calls and a bunch of texts from my parents. Oh shit. Hey, we're heading out for dinner. You want us to bring anything back for you? Pretty much all of it was asking if I wanted any food. Oh, hell. Yes, text back. Hey, sorry I was asleep. Yeah, if you guys can pick something up for me, I'd appreciate it. Immediately get response K. Smiley face. When do you guys think you'll be back? About an hour. Wait. Look at clock. Almost midnight. When did you guys leave? No response. Mom must be several glasses of wine. In. Decide to get myself something to eat. Cereal, here I come. Walk downstairs. None of the lights are on. Turning on every single light as I go. Don't hear my dogs anywhere. They're yappy little bastards. They'd have started barking from seeing the lights turn on or something. Pour cereal and milk. Reese's Puffs, yo, start heading back up the stairs. Stairs are tiled, they don't creak whatsoever. Completely silent as I'm walking back up. Reach the top of the stairs, turn to walk into my room. What the fuck, man-shaped shadow on my wall. Completely freeze. The only noise I can hear is myself breathing very slowly. Slowly put down cereal. Oh, fuck, my AK is in my room. So is my machete. I'm gonna fucking die. Walk backwards downstairs. Don't take eyes off bedroom door. This was not smart of me. I slip, fall downstairs, parents' room door opens. Mom walks out. Anon, what the fuck happened? So utterly confused and scared at this point. Put my finger over my mouth to indicate she needs to be quiet. Anxious look on my face convinces her. Dead silence here. 3 very distinct footsteps. This wasn't some shit that sounded like footsteps. These were fucking footsteps. Clearly coming from my room. Look of fear and realization shows up on my mom's face. Slowly walks into their room and wakes my dad up. I'm still sitting on my ass in front of the front door. See dad walk out of room wearing dirty-ass tighty-whities, holding a .44 revolver, walks over to my room confidently as fuck. Nothing, no sound. Walks back out. Looks at me. There's nobody there. You're fucking kidding me? Run back up the stairs and into room. Dad follows me. Nobody is in my room. Grab my AK and go to sweep the house. It's unloaded, but looks scary. Completely go over house with my dad. Nobody's there. Doors are all locked. We finish and head back upstairs. My mom agrees. She heard the footsteps. She can't find her phone either. Oh shit. Pull phone out and show them texts. They both say they didn't send them and they didn't go out that day. All 3 of us just stand there for a moment contemplating what this could mean. Angry look appears on my dad's face. What's up? Then it dawns on me, the only way the doors could have locked is if someone on the outside had a key, or if whoever relocked them was still inside. They're still inside the house. Hear 2 more footsteps. My mom hasn't caught on yet. What's going on? My phone goes off. Text message from my mom. Home, smiley face. Tell my mom to call the cops. She calls from the landline, explains that someone has broken into the house. Dad tells her to clarify that we're all white, so they hurry. She actually does it. Cops show up in less than 5 minutes. Oh shit, it worked. Dad lets them in, 6 of them. Go over the house, find guy hidden in crawl space. In the back of the boiler room, which is right near my bedroom. It's the same fucking guy. He was arrested, charged with a couple of things, and I haven't seen him since. Turns out he did live nearby, technically. Lived out of his car and supposedly had been stealing food from that convenience store for a while. According to my mom, he started off friendly, but kept hitting on her, so she started avoiding him right before shit got weird. We haven't figured out how he managed to get in with all the doors locked, though. My guess is that he'd been hiding there all day. Still have trouble sleeping without a gun nearby. Not as spooky as a skinwalker, I guess, but fuck me if I wasn't terrified.
Long-time lurker, first-time poster on /x/ I'm generally a /k/fag. A few years ago, we had decoration day up at the old family land, and I think I had a Bigfoot encounter, maybe. Old Appalachian thing where it's kind of a family reunion, but we clean/decorate the graves, have a church service, and cookout all in the family cemetery in the mountains of North Carolina, close to the Tennessee border, on very old, American-wise, family land. And there are people from my family dating back to the early 1800s there, along with apparently a number of Cherokee, somehow related to us. So here's the short and easy of it. Me and a couple of distant cousins decide to go camping up on a ridge overlooking the farm/cemetery one night. Something we do every few years, after decoration, beautiful view, with minimal light pollution, all armed because bears are common, and panthers aren't too uncommon to be seen. Everyone falls asleep except me and a cousin, I'll call him Dale, because we're /night shift /fags in the middle of a conversation. He stops, does a double take, and stares deadpan down the ridge at the cemetery. Dave squints and mutters, "What the fuck? You can't see shit, Captain. .jpg. Anon, there's people in the fucking graveyard. Jesus Christ, they're huge." Wake up the other three and decide to go investigate it. It's a 3/4 mile hike down through the woods through the forest to get the cemetery, and about 10 minutes into it, my hackles raise up. There's no cicadas, no owls, or anything I feel like I'm being watched. Start to smell something the closer we get to the graveyard. For any medfags, the closest I can compare it to is finding a dead fat guy decomposed in his trailer in mid-July, and a basement mothballish mildewy smell. It's fucking horrible, everyone's on edge. But nothing happens the rest of the way down. Dale starts hyperventilating and pointing his SKS to the clearing way across the field behind the house. Something fucking huge sprints fast as shit from behind one of the barns to the wood line, 130-ish yards. In seconds, Dale takes a few pot shots at the thing, and we hear the squalling kind of like a giant bobcat with his nuts in a vise. Another call, similar sounds from behind us in the woods adjacent to the cemetery. Fuck this .jpg. I'm so rattled at this point, I just start running to the Jeep. We rode down the holler-in, and we all pile in the dirt road into the land. It's about 2 miles of dirt roads, hugging the edge of a drop-off, and takes you to the main road at the top of the mountain. We're all armed and scared shitless all the way up the driveway, and make it out on the main road. Spend the rest of the night at Waffle House. It's anticlimactic, but it was fucking terrifying.
Be me and a friend, circa 2006, at a small, poor fisherman village near a river at Colombian Pacific coast. Dense, humid, tropical jungle sun is almost down, and we're all tipsy after having a few beers, decide to visit the tiny local cemetery on our way to the campsite, giggling at funny, misspelled names on tombstones. A couple hours later, it starts to rain as we're getting ready to sleep. All of a sudden, we hear something moving really fast. It goes from the main stone road to where we are. Like 20 feet away, our tent is over a wooden platform held by pillars. Nothing but plants, rocks, etc. below us. The thing, whatever it is, zigzags through the vegetation very rapidly between the pillars at a not normal speed. No animal or person can move that fast. All of a sudden, it hits hard against one of the wooden columns, and everything goes silent, just _rain_pouring.wav. We have no idea what's going. Friend is also kind of a skeptical but terrified .mp4. A few seconds/minutes pass, and it does the same thing again, and again we just stay there listening. After this shit repeating several times, all we can hear is the rain falling. We lie down on our sleeping bags and continue to listen. After a while, I hear it again coming from the road. It's down below the structure, but no zigzagging this time. Next thing I hear is like a nail or claw slowly scratch the wooden planks. Right below where my ear/head was, jump scared as fuck. Anon, did you hear that? Snoring .aiff. Spend the rest of the night listening while Anon sleeps.
Right? Takes place about a year ago, early to mid-November if I recall correctly. It had just started getting cold. We'll attempt to green text, work second shift, get off at 11 p.m., get in my car ready to go home. T, turnkey, no go. Not even a turnover. Fucking battery. He's dead. Gym co-worker tries to jump me off, but the battery is pretty old at this point. Get a bit of noise from it, but no tomb over. Gonna need a new one. Home is 16 miles away. Work is in the city. Home practically in the sticks. Thankfully, my dad's house is just about a 2-mile walk. Based Dad start hoofing it, shivering my ass off. About 20 minutes into my trek, it's about midnight. Tried for quite a while to get my car going, come across a guy waiting at a bus stop. Somehow, it didn't click that the last of the buses have already run. No more until morning. Didn't realize this until later. He stops me asking, "Hey friend, would you happen to have a smoke to spare?" He's polite, clean-shaven, short black hair. Noticed he had brownish eyes, though an odd shade. I've got a knife on me because street people, so I keep wary of him. I give him a smoke, and he starts making small talk. He seems pretty cool, so I decide to take a break and smoke a stogie with him and bullshit. Usual chit-chat, weather, recent movies we've seen, etc. Pretty friendly dude finish cigarette, hand him 3 more to save, and about to head on my way, and before he stops me again, "Hey, you seem like the type to smoke. Wanna light up?" As thanks for the cigarettes. He pulls a decent-sized joint out of his pocket. Fuck yeah, dot. JPG. Jackpot. He starts walking to an alley between 2 closed businesses, carpet store and something IDR, despite his friendliness, always aware of alleys. Keep one hand near my knife just in case we light up. Pass it back and forth for a few minutes. Don't talk much so we don't attract attention. He puts it out and hands me the roach. This guy's turning out to be a bro him. Phew, got cotton mouth, need a drink. Half expected him to pull out a flask at this point, but turns towards me with a smirk and pushes me against the wall with one head. At this point, I'm thinking he's about to give me a BJ. I'm not a homosexual, and was about to tell him as much, but he spoke fist. You will not remember this next part. Said it in a very firm tone. Not threatening, but commanding. Felt like it echoed in my head, and felt kinda dizzy almost immediately, about to shit bricks, because he's staring me dead in the eyes as he says this. And, surprise, his eyes aren't brown, motherfucking glowing red. Holy shit! Pull out my knife, and he catches it with his other hand, stops it halfway from flipping out, and deliberately closes it. Bruce Lee speed. .exe. His hand is now gripped around mine with the folded knife in it. Feels like a damn vice grip. Fight or flight mode is kicking in over time. He hasn't broken eye contact, and those damn things are glowing like small red light bulbs. No color contacts I know of can do that. I'm a martial artist and pretty damn fast, but he caught my hand like I was moving through syrup. Obviously, I'm in /x/file. It's sinking in that this dude is not fucking human. Come on, man, you don't need that. No one's getting hurt tonight. He said this completely calm. Same tone we had been talking in just a few moments earlier. Still holding my fist, pulls my arm so it's in front of me. Then, in the time it takes to blink, he's got his mouth on my forearm. Ow, fuck you. What the fuck? Stung like a bitch for not even half a second, pain was gone before I finished saying, fuck. At this point, it's now pretty fucking clear what sort of non-human I've come across. No fucking way. Are you goddamn serious? I hear Slash feel a couple chuckles from him at that. I'm just sort of stunned at this point. Pinned, too. But that's beside the point. He continues like this for maybe a minute, rocking his mouth back and forth a little bit every couple of moments or so. After maybe a minute or two, he pulls his mouth away from my forearm. Look at where he bit. Indentions on my skin from his top front, his front 8 or so teeth, but not breaking the skin. Except where the canines were. 2 small drops of blood wipe it off. Underneath those small drops, blood is already dried inside. The actual punctures look back at him, He's still got that smirk on his face. Okay, put your knife back and you can remember again. That echo again, plus more dizziness. WTF was in that joint? I put the knife back into my back pocket. As soon as I do, he speaks again. Good stuff, huh? He asks in his normal conversational tone. Huh? The weed. Pretty good stuff, isn't it? He pulls out one of the cigarettes I gave him and lights it up as he starts walking towards the bus stop again. My mind catches up to what just happened. I just got my blood drank by a fuck-mothering vampire, and he just tried to Jedi mind trick me into not remembering. Yeah, it was. I appreciate it, man. Telling myself, just fucking play along. If he knows I still remember, he might just try to disembowel me or something. Dying wasn't on my agenda for the night after all. Well, it's about time I head home. You take care. And thanks again for the smokes. He starts walking away in the direction I came from. This was where I belatedly realized the oddness of him waiting at a bus stop. Have a good one, man. Trying real hard to sound normal and natural. I'd like to think I did a pretty good job. He looks back and gives me a slightly odd look. Oh, fucking hell, he knows. Fight or flight about to kick into overdrive flight mode, he waves and turns back around. After a moment, I turn and continue on my way. Entire walk to Dad's. I keep repeating to myself, what the actual fuck? Get to Dad's place about 30 more minutes later. Kept checking my arm every few minutes on the way there. Mark's completely gone by the time I get there. No trace at all go inside. Dad's all, hey son, want a drink? Didn't mention earlier, he was already drunk a few hours earlier, hence why he couldn't just pick me up. Tell him the walk and the cold wore me out. Just want to go to sleep. Stay up a while, just going over what had happened. Some amateur logical deduction is how I came to the conclusions I state in last post. The bite didn't get infected, or even imitated in the slightest, so I assume antiseptic. The other three properties should be self-explanatory from the story on how I came to conclude those. Don't ask me why his Jedi mind trick didn't work, because I have no fucking clue. I can't even begin to guess the method in which it works in the first place, much less how to counter it. Maybe he fucked. BRB smoking. I had a terrifying experience while exploring the old warehouses and industrial buildings on Moor Lane and Victoria Street in Preston. The buildings are surrounded by 4 roads: Victoria Street, Sizer Street, Ashmore Street, and the main road, Moor Lane. The abandoned site consists of 3 buildings with a courtyard in between them. These are now being used as a drug den, off and on. However, I am sure there is something much more sinister, much more evil lurking in those buildings. I visited them a year ago out of interest for urban exploration for a few days. The first terrifying experience I had took place in the middle 2-story building with the broken windows. You can only enter through the broken glass door at the front. At first, it seemed a rather normal abandoned building, clearly used as a workplace. When I headed up to the top floor, the signs of drug activity were more apparent, but there was no sign of any druggies. After looking around, I went back to ground floor to look further there, when I heard the sounds of pounding footsteps coming from upstairs towards me. Now, as I said, there weren't any druggies there, and I was alone. Furthermore, I couldn't see anyone coming down, so I ran and ran until I was clear from the site. But just as I stopped to catch my breath, I heard the footsteps again, meaning that whatever it was had followed me out. I then ran until I reached the safety of an enclosed building. The second horrifying experience happened several weeks later, where I had found that these criminals had opened an entrance to the third building, which is a large 3-story Victorian building once used as a biscuit factory. It had also been used as a brickworks in the last decade, a site to help Chinese students apply to UK universities, and the roof rooms were used as a dance studio. So, it is a fascinating building and a great shame that it is being used as a drug den. I made a few explorations of the place, though I did not take any pictures, which is bad practice if I was trying to be a good urban explorer, but the thought slipped my mind. The building is fascinating, and itself like a labyrinth, though. What I didn't know was, it is as hazardous as the labyrinth of mythology, for there are worse things than druggies in the halls of that building. I never ran into any of them, and though I knew that there was risk of meeting them, my visits were relatively safe until the last time. But it wasn't a crazy druggie that was the problem, but something else. I was visiting one morning, and I decided to take a fall tour of the building. This was not too dangerous until I reached the top floor, and something quite terrifying took place. Now, the top floor consists of a main hall and two separate side areas. One looks over Ribblebrook House, a student accommodation for UCLAN, and the other is behind a door that overlooks the Vernon building of UCLAN. It always seemed strange why these buildings would remain unused, despite their prominent locations. The pounding footsteps and what I would soon hear would answer that question. I attempted to open the door that overlooked the Vernon building, but it wouldn't budge. And then I heard it. The most horrendous moan like a corpse that had been years dead, rearing itself back to life. This moaning continued, but I didn't wait to see how long it would last, and I bolted and ran from the top floor all the way to the entrance, and I have never been back ever since. There is something evil in that place, something monstrous, and it is telling that even the druggies do not stay there for long. The place was boarded up last year soon afterwards, but it is clear that the druggies have recently started going there again, so it is still possible to gain entrance if you wish. I have seen the way they gain entry, so I can tell you that if you want to investigate it. There is property bordering the location that used to be a pub and is now used for social housing, though I suspect that many of the people are druggies themselves. Well, the bins outside the house are at a fence, which they seem to climb over to get into the site. Also, the people who live in the former pub to help people gain access, so you can try them as well. This is, of course, if you dare find out what lurks inside those dreadful buildings.